All right, boys. Today is, what is today? Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025. And as always, I am your pal, Addy, and I am here. Oh, is my dog going to leave? Okay, he's in the shot. I got the dog cam on tonight. And I'm trying to have a low key kind of intro to the stream because I usually start out with like high energy and that's when he like hightails it out of here. But I'm trying to keep this low key and I'm going to try and maintain my composure throughout this stream so that my dog stays on the dog cam. But let's see if we can get him in a better frame. All right, I think, okay, that's a pretty good frame for the dog. But all right, boys, how's everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a great freaking evening, a great, awesome, wonderful hump day. I know that I am. I am happy that the weekend is fast approaching. Of course, it's been a 4-day week, right? Because we had Monday off. If you're American, you had Monday off, and then so it's a 4-day week. I mean, you blink and it's already Thursday. Tomorrow's Thursday, and then after that, we know what comes after Thursday, Friday. Yeah. That's pretty hard hitting stream news right there. All right, so let's go ahead and Matthew is in the house. Matthew, who probably did have work on Monday, says hello, doggo and Andy. Oh wait, no, you actually wrote Addy. I thought you said Andy. Yeah, I'm going to try and keep the dog. I'm trying to maintain a very low cadence in my speech pattern because I want the dog to stay on camera because I feel like dogs, pets in general, I think pets in general will draw people to the stream. Okay, so I can't get too loud. I can't get too excited. I gotta maintain a cool, calm, and collected composure. And honestly, that was my name in high school, Mr. Cool, Calm, and Collected. That's what they called me, the Cool, Calm, and Collected Kid. That's how I was known. That's how I was known. Not really. Okay, so I actually did do a little bit of work on this morning. Because I literally typed like 3 lines of code, but I was really curious about LINQ because I remember working in C# a long time ago, like back in 2010, 2011, when the last job that I had where I was working in C# professionally. And I remember using LINQ quite a bit, and I really liked it. I really liked the SQL-ish nature of being able to basically query collections within the language itself. I just thought that was a really neat concept. And so I was like, you know what? I bet when we have that, when we have the singleton that's basically, oh wait, I got to do something. I want to send the link out to a bunch of people. Let me see. I send it to this person, and then I'm going to send it to these people, and then I'm going to send it to this person. I'm going to send it to Lisa. I'm going to send it to my buddy Robbie. Is there anybody else I should send it to? No, I think that's it. Rosha. All right, but I love using LINQ and C#. Yeah, LINQ is pretty cool. LINQ is pretty cool, and so in C++ they have something similar, though it's not built into the language. It's implemented as a library called ranges, although now I believe with C++ 20 the ranges library is in the standard library now with C++ 20. But that's the thing with C++. It's like, here we are in C++ 25. I do not know that there is a complete C++ 23 compiler. Let me close my naughty boy browser, and let's see, C++ compiler support is what I want to look up. And my good buddy Nick Rudnev is in the house. Actually, it's pretty funny. So I've known Nick a very long time, and so one of my favorite online aliases, so his name is Nick Rudnev, but one of my favorite online aliases is Rick Nudnev, and I'm not even joking. I will show you this. I've been using that as a, where do I have it? Yeah, right here. I don't know what this is. Okay. Oh, that's a video of me. But you can see here that I already have the account ricknudnev@gmail.com. So it's one of my favorite aliases is Rick Nudnev, named after my good buddy Nick Rudnev. So maybe my next alias will be well, I don't know Matthew's last name. Okay, so I wanted to look up this C++ compiler support. So C++ 23, look at this. Like even MSVC. So the three main C++ compilers are GCC, Clang, and MSVC. MSVC, of course, being the Microsoft compiler. GCC and Clang are open source. Actually, there's a pretty, I don't know how interesting of a story it is. Oh, and Nick, by the way, the song playing in the background, you might recognize it. Let me turn it up a little bit for you. I don't know if you recognize it or not, Nick, but it's Russian. But anyway, so for a long time, GCC, you had two options essentially. You had GCC and you had MSVC, and of course, you only had MSVC if you were using Windows. And so if you were using Linux, and I think even for a long time Mac, they were using GCC, and GCC got lazy. Like the people who, like the community, the GCC community got kind of lazy and they got kind of complacent, and because they were kind of like, well, what other alternative are you going to use? So from what I understand, a couple of people who were like kind of the lead, I don't know if they were the leads on the GCC development, but a couple of, they were prominent people within the GCC community. They were like, okay, well, screw this, we're going to write our own compiler. And that's how Clang came to be, I think in the late 90s. And might have been the early 2000s, I'm not sure. But so basically Clang came on the scene and started kind of like, well, people were like, wow, this new Clang compiler is pretty awesome. And then that kind of lit a fire under the GCC community. And so now GCC and Clang are actually both really good. I wrote, so back, I think it was a C++ 2023 feature that I implemented in Clang, and then I tried submitting it as a PR because it's open source. But oh my gosh, like you had to do all and I understand why, but you had to jump through so many hoops just to get your code reviewed. And it was like, wow. So I tried for a hot minute to be a contributor to the Clang compiler, but I was not able to. I didn't have the patience, let's be honest. Nick says, my kids say you should be on TikTok. More people. I don't like that. I do not trust TikTok. I will not go on TikTok. I don't trust the Chinese. I mean, I don't. And honestly, that is the main reason I will not download TikTok, is because I do not trust the Chinese. So, call me whatever you're going to call me, but no. I mean, it's like just like the Russians. I'm not going to trust the Russians. Those dirty Russians. Who would trust those people? Nick is Russian. Just calm down before you get your panties in a twist. And then today, where can I find this article? I really want to ask Matthew, like, what the hell is going on in England? Like, what the hell is going on? Like I'm seeing, like, at first I thought it was just my echo chamber, right? And I was like, okay, like this story is probably not as big as it appears to me because I'm in my echo chamber. And so I'm going to get certain types of stories in my echo chamber, and I try to remain cognizant of that like okay, I'm seeing these types of stories because those are the types of stories that I click on. And so the algorithm is just going to feed me more and more of those stories. So fine. And so obviously in my algorithm, I'm just seeing all these different videos about England. And but then I saw an article it's starting to appear like in I don't want to say progressive mainstream media, but definitely not like right-wing mainstream media. What is it? What was it? It was probably The Atlantic, Europe's Problem, Yeah, so this is it. But I'm going to go to the archive of this because this is going to ask me to subscribe. So I can go archive.is. But The Atlantic, and Nick can probably attest to this fact, but The Atlantic is it's a pretty like progressive left-wing kind of publication. And I don't mean that with any kind of like disdain. I'm just stating it for what it is. And so when you see, like, because I've been seeing things about like Europe's free speech, like things about free speech in Europe, but specifically free speech in England. I've been seeing that for like a year now. Like that has been popping up on my feed more and more and more. But now it seems that like mainstream media really can't ignore it anymore because it's becoming more and more of a thing. And you have, and now there's, and they got this march coming up on September 13th, and like I'm just like what is actually, like I'm curious as to what is actually happening in what is actually happening in England. So Matthew, but Matthew is in England, so if he can't say out of fear of being arrested, I get it. Avi Geeking Out says this is peak footage of working on a Unity survival game right here. Yes, I'm talking about free speech in Europe. Okay, we're going to work on it. We're going to do this. We're going to do this, okay? Just stop your freaking criticism. We're actually going to do this. Let me put another song on because this song's just going to depress me. Here, we'll do this. How's this? I also feel bad because Nick is constantly asking me to go to lunch, and I'm constantly like, I either don't feel like it, or like today I had to go to a data center out in Ashburn, Virginia for work today. And he, of course, of all days, he texts me like lunch. And I'm like, dude, could your timing be any worse? All right. So this stupid little function works. It works just fine. But we need a little bit more. And like, remember last night that AI gave us like all kinds of stuff. It gave us like hearing threshold and indoor outdoor dampeners and stuff like that. It's another man. I get it. Oh, Nick, don't be jealous. He's so jealous. What is this? Somebody is sending me photos of, I don't know what this is. It's somewhere in Fiji because the person is in Fiji that's sending me photos, but I'm not sure what they're sending me, like what the relevance is of these photos. I'm going to tell her that I'm streaming. And then I'm going to do that. Okay. So, anyway. All right. So, what was the other thing I wanted to look at before we do anything? So, I think one thing we can do is that the weapon. So, like we had the AI recommended the sound event types, right? Which I think was actually a good idea, where you can specify whether it's like a gunshot or an explosion or whatever it might be. And I think that's reasonable. So but I don't know that I want to jump right in. Like I don't want to jump into the deep end of the pool, like head first. Like I want to I've always been a kind of like, let's start with, I've never been a jump right into the pool kind of guy. I have been a rip the Band-Aid off kind of guy. I am a rip the Band-Aid off kind. So is that a contradiction? I'm a rip the Band-Aid off type of guy, but I'm not a jump into the pool head first type of guy. So I don't know. Maybe that's a contradiction. So, but with programming, I like to start small and build up. So, okay. Excuse me. All right. So here's the first thing, like this hearing range. I think the thing that defines the stimulus should define the hearing range, which is probably, let's see, source base loudness, I think was probably it. So we can have float. Let's do hearing range. And then that way the stimulus will have a hearing range. Yes. Okay, and then we can just do this. Okay, so we don't need that. And then what? And then what we can do, and then it's going to be in pistol item interaction or pistol interaction, which is good because this will have the pistol item data, and that is where that's where the range should exist. It should exist in the item data, which is called what are they called? My memory has been terrible today. It has been absolutely awful. Scriptable object. That's what it is. Okay, so item data. Pistol item data. So where is pistol item data defined? Pistol item data. Okay. Recoil, hold, return duration, fire range, fire point, audio source, prefab, fire sound. So we could have float, audio range, right? We do that. Audio range will then get passed in here. I'm afraid Matthew's already been arrested. Yep, there we go. He's already in jail. It's my fault. Okay, so we pass that in. Item pistol. Okay, I'm at 2, and then now if we go into Unity, we're gonna have to define it because right now it's gonna be 0. Okay, where are my scriptable objects? I think, oh, wait, they're under items, aren't they? Scripts. I don't remember where I put anything. Okay, items, pistol. All right. So I almost feel like, okay, we can do this here. So let's do 50 because I did 10 earlier this morning and it didn't quite, it was like, you had to be really quick. Matthew says I said too much. He's already said he thought an opinion, so he's already in trouble. He thought an opinion, an unapproved opinion, so he's already in trouble. Okay, so we should have the little log down here, and oh, who heard it? The green guy heard it, and then Station Guard 2. So I guess this means I'm not close enough for Station Guard 1 to make it. Let's see. Okay, and then there. So Station Guard 1, I kind of like that. That's a happy accident. That's a happy accident of a test, right? Because I got from here, it's like right on the precipice where the guard closest to me can hear it, but the guard on the other side cannot. Although that is a little weird, but we'll one thing at a time. Stop looking at me. Okay. All right. So, okay. So they can hear. That is good. That is good. I haven't looked at the code in a while. Let's look at where we're at with the code that we've modified. All right, come on, source tree. Okay, pistol interaction. We'll come back to that in a minute. Stimulus bus, yes. Matthew's favorite type of bus, not to be confused with the short bus. Enemy NPC, sure. Base NPC. What is this? Hearing sensor. Game Unity. I'm not sure what I changed in that. We did change we added a new audio range data. Pistol item. That should be there. Pistol interaction. Okay, so these two things I'm still not quite sure of. So we have this hearing sensor interface, which we put on the base NPC. And you could think of it as like, because you could have a hearing sensor, like what if you had, and I'm not saying we're going to do this, but like an example of another use case for the hearing sensor would be if you had an alarm that worked off audio noise, right? That like some kind of sound triggered alarm. Like I'm just thinking, what you could do that. Nick says, bring back Russian music. This Korean spa music is sleepy. How would you know what a Korean spa music sounds like, Nick? Huh? I think you've got some explaining to do. Because we know what happens in those Korean salons. All right. I mean, so I've been told. Matthew told me about it one time when he was allowed to. All right, so here we go. Okay. And now I kind of want to write an alarm because I feel like it would be pretty easy to do, right? The hearing, actually, no. The hearing sensor. No, it wouldn't be. The only thing it would be able to hear really is the gunshot. You could have walking make a noise, but I don't know. Okay. Okay. So. I bet, Nick being Russian, I imagine that this was probably the song that his mother sang to him every night before bed. All right. So this is the Handel sound. Doesn't this need to be virtual? I'm thinking again in C++ terms. It does need to be virtual. So how do I want to do this? Because I could have it here, right? Protected override, Handel sound. It's a World War II song. Yes, I do know that. I did know that much. I'm trying to think because what needs to happen is when we hear the sound, if we're in an idle state, we want to react to it. So I'm trying to think of how that's going to work. I feel almost like the state should have a Handel sound. Well, would it go under NPC state? I mean, I guess it would, right? It would almost be like Handel stimuli, not even like Handel sound, like Handel stimuli, right? Maybe that does make sense. I don't know the words, but I love this song. Right? So it feels like you would have it in here, like public, abstract. I guess it could be a pure. Do we want it to be a pure? Well, it's an abstract class. Do abstract classes... No. I was going to say, do abstract classes in C# do they have to be pure abstract? I don't think they do. Because this here is not purely abstract, but that is a constructor, so it might have special privileges. I don't know. Let's do it like this. Handel sound. I don't want it to be... I want it to be virtual. Because I want an empty handler, right? Because I want the default to do nothing. But I want to be able to override it when I want. So I could override it here. Okay, I don't know why it's public all of a sudden. Wasn't it private? Or no, it's public here. Okay, public. Okay. Public override Handel sound. Okay, I think that's good enough for a test case. So so this state machine, current state, or how do I get, where's the state machine object? In NPC state machine. Current state.
И поэтому знаю, со мной ничего не случится.
All right, let's see if that compiles.
И поэтому знаю, со мной.
Cannot change access modifier, so it's protected. Okay, so that's enemy NPC. I guess it needs to be public. What was it in base NPC? Handle sound, it's public. Okay, so let's put it here. My dog's still on. Oh, yeah, he's a good boy. He's just sleeping back there. He's a good boy.
Только ветер гудит в проводах, тускло звезды мерцают.
Okay. So we should see a log message that says so-and-so heard a gunshot, but we should only see it from that first guy right there. Oh, as soon as I mentioned my dog, he up and left. All right, well, fine. See if you get a walk tonight. All right. Let's see what happens here.
Как я люблю глубину твоих ласковых глаз.
Wait a minute.
Как я хочу к ним прижаться.
Station guard 2 heard a gunshot. So, okay, so gunshot is capitalized. Okay, so I think this is the one that comes from the state. Enemy idle state. Yes, lowercase gunshot. Whereas the kind is going to be uppercase. Okay, perfect. Okay. So we have the state responding to a gunshot. Now what do we do? I guess what we can have him do is we have him turn. We have him look in the direction of the gunshot. We allow him to look a little bit further. And then if he sees, then he reacts. So turn towards. So I think what we need, because okay, what's going to happen? I'm going to run into issues if I try to do it with an update. I think I need the short circuit update, right? So what we would do is we could have a simple private boolean. Alert is alert equals false. If he is alert, we can yeah, if is alert, we probably need to exit early. We'll just do this right now. We're probably gonna have to add some logic in there. We just got to figure out what it is first.
Только пули свистят по степи,
Everybody left. It's just me and Matthew now, or Nick, or me and Nick. I don't know who. All right. So if we have this, let me see here. So we need to get the direction of the gunshot. We have the direction of the stimulus. Right? We have the point. All right, let me see here. Original into default position. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, I think that is something to. I think default position is some type of. It basically allows the NPC to turn back. Like if the NPC leaves this state and then he comes back to this state, he goes back to his default orientation, maybe something like that. That's just a guess. I have found that as I've gotten older, like when I see a bug, I've gotten very good at like guessing what the issue is. Like you just learn these patterns, you learn these certain things, and I've gotten very good at being able to determine like, oh, I bet it's this, and this other thing. Matthew says, can we just have them walk to the location of the gunshot and they should already detect the player and start attacking? That's not a terrible idea. Do we have, so what we would need then is we would need a state of walking, like an investigate state, which we can probably co-opt because we have a patrol state, so we could probably co-opt that code. Okay, I like that idea, Matthew. That's a good idea. So first, let's look at the patrol state. Enemy patrol state, right? So basically all of this is doing is just iterating through a list of points and basically just having the NPC walk to each point. And then he's doing a scan as he's walking. So if he detects something, we will actually, he'll have the enemy pursue state. That's a good cheat, actually.
Как я люблю глубину твоих ласковых глаз.
I'm thinking
Как я хочу к ним прижаться.
this is a little bit of a cheat. Let's start with this.
Темная ночь.
I'm thinking let's have the NPC just start chasing the person who fired the gun. Now, the reason I say it's a cheat is because the NPC is automatically going to know where that person is and who fired it, right? Like, he's going to know.
Верю в тебя, дорогую подругу мою.
The only issue is I think this target transform. Excuse me.
Темной ночью хранила.
We would basically have to get. I think I can do this in pistol interaction.
Знаю, встретишь с любовью меня, чтоб со мной не случилось.
Maybe not.
Смерть не страшна, с ней
Let me look up
встречались
enemy
не раз
pursue
мы
state.
в степи. Вот и теперь надо мною она кружится. Ты меня ждешь, и у детской кроватки не спишь, и поэтому знаю, со мной ничего не
Just doing something off screen over here. Oh,
И поэтому
What happened there?
знаю, со мной ничего не случится. Темная ночь, только пули свистят.
I know this is very entertaining.
Только ветер
Oh, okay.
гудит в проводах, тускло звезды мерцают. В темную ночь ты, любимая,
Okay.
знаю, не
All right.
спишь, и у детской кровати
So I went to this data center where we moved our offices to, or we moved our lab. Right, we don't have an office anymore, but in the office we had a lab, and in the lab
Как я хочу
or I'm sorry, in the office we had a lab. And so when we decided that we were going to get rid of the office, we obviously we still needed the lab. The lab's used internally. There used to be external facing systems in the lab, but now it's mostly internal for like build systems, DOCI testing, regular Jenkins builds, things like that. Regular stuff that any kind of like software company is going to have. So I went there today. I forgot where I was going with this story. I completely forgot. I completely got distracted and I forgot where I was going with this story. Oh, so I was talking to a coworker, and mind you, I hadn't seen any of these people since June. And there were two coworkers there, both good guys. I've worked with both of them for a long time. Like with everybody who's left at my company has been at the company for, I would say, since at least 2017. I can't think of anybody who has been there for a shorter period of time. So anyway, so I see these guys and I'm talking, one of them's a younger, like one of them's an older guy. Like I'm an older guy, I'm 50. One of them, I imagine he's in his 60s. He's a little bit older than me. And then the other guy is a younger guy. I think he's in his mid to late 30s. To me, that's a younger guy. To Matthew, I know that's an old man, but to me, that's a younger guy. And he likes to travel, and he knows I like to travel. So we often talk about traveling a lot. And he's like, there's like some company thing coming up on September 15th, and Enemy Investigate State. And so I'm like, oh yeah, are you going to be able to, like, are you going to be there? And he's like, no, I can't. And I'm like, well, like, why? And he's like, I'm going to the Philippines. And I'm like, oh. And now, mind you, this guy, he spent time in Korea, he's spent time in Japan, like he's traveled. He's traveled. And so I'm thinking he's just going to the Philippines just to go to the Philippines, right? Like, I don't think I would ever personally go to the Philippines, but other people might. And I'm like, oh, you're just going to, like, check it out. And he's like, well, yeah, kinda. I'm like, oh. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to meet a girl. I'm like, oh, this guy. I kind of thought he was gay. Like, I suspected he might be gay because he's always talking about, he's never talked about women, but that's fine. Like, we're work friends, right? So it's perfectly normal if you don't talk about women with work friends. That's perfectly normal. But I know he's been single for a long time, and he always talks about how, like, he's going to be single forever, and like he doesn't ever see it, like he doesn't ever know if he wants another girlfriend or anything like that. So I thought maybe he might be gay. But turns out, no. So he's like telling me how, like, his mother has a Filipina friend at work who has a daughter in the Philippines, and like they kind of connected the two or something like that. And like he's been talking to her. I'm like, well, how long have you been talking to her? He's like, well, we've been talking since March. And I'm like, oh. And you're going over to meet her? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, and I'm like, well, how long are you going for? And he's like, a week. And I'm like, that's not long enough. Like that's like, first of all, we're in Washington, D.C. That is like a 24, he said it's like 24 hours of plane rides, which means it is probably going to be like 30 hours door to door. That is a long time. And it's going to be even longer coming. No, wait, the jet. No, he'll be coming with the jet stream on the way back. So it might be slightly shorter on the way home, but still, it's a long trip. It is long, and I'm like, I just know I'm gonna get an email from you, and it's gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna be working from the Philippines for the next couple of weeks. Like, I just know that's gonna happen. And I was like, whatever you do not come back married. Don't come back married. And I'm like this guy. He's gonna come. He's so coming back married. He is so coming back married, because you know what happens, right? Like, well, first of all, okay, I'm not judging, because I know nothing about this guy's personal life. I don't know anything about his personal life. So what I'm about to say may not be applicable to him. But when a guy has not when a guy has not enjoyed the company of a woman for a while, I think their mind gets clouded. I don't want to say their mind, our mind, because I am a man too, and I am susceptible to these things as well. And when you have not enjoyed the company of a woman for a while, your judgment is clouded, and you will make decisions that you probably normally wouldn't make. So I was like, do not come back married. Do not come back married. Do not. And I was like, do not get her pregnant. Like, do not come back married. Do not get her pregnant. I'm kind of thinking one or both will happen. So, but then again, that is on the presupposition that he has not enjoyed the company of a woman for quite a while, which could be completely false on my part. Like, I have no idea. Like, I know a few things. Like, I know he likes guns. I know he likes. I like guns, so we talk about guns a lot. I know he likes to travel. I like to travel. We talk about travel a lot. So, Matthew says it'll make you travel the world. It really will. It really, really will. What if one day they hate each other? Well, honestly, that is. I mean. But that's the risk you run with any relationship, right? Like that, it doesn't matter where you meet the person, how you meet the person, doesn't matter where they're from. You might end up hating each other regardless. All relationships, any romantic relationship can only end in one of two ways. There's only two ways that a romantic relationship ends. That is heartbreak or death. That's it. That's it. There are no other options. Tell me what other option there is. You want to tell me that there's like, a mutual breakup. Those don't exist. They don't exist. And even if you are the one who wants to break up, there is still a level of heartbreak involved. So a mutual decisive breakup doesn't exist. And even if you're the one initiating the breakup, you are still going to have some level of heartbreak. So yeah, those are the only two ways: heartbreak and death. That's it. I got the first one. Heartbreak? Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I think that's how most relationships end. And then, sadly, you might experience the second one at some point in your life, too. So, I think about that with my wife. Like, if my wife and I stay together, which, I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't, but, you never know. But it's like I don't know. Would I want to die first? And I think I would. I don't like the thought of burying her, or of like some woman that like I'm committed to in that way. Like, I mean, my wife, but like, that's rough. That is rough. Like I don't know. But I have found that like as I got older, so I remember, I'm just going to talk for a little bit, sorry. But I remember I had this childhood friend, Robbie, who he's been in the chat room before, but he kind of comes out in and out of my life. But that's first. And so his mom died maybe 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. And so my friend Robbie, he's my age. He's like 2 months older than me. So he's also 50. And then he has a younger sister who is roughly the same age as one of my younger sisters. And so they have been friends for a long time as well. And so my sisters and I went to Robbie's mother's funeral. And it was fine. There was nothing interesting about that. But Robbie's stepfather, who was married to his mother, first of all, he is a total fucking slimeball. I have always hated that man. He is He is literally one of the worst human beings I have ever known. He's a terrible fucking person. Yeah, Craig Reed. I'm talking about you, Mr. fucking Craig Reed, and your little pedophile mustache. Anyway, but I do remember on the rare occasion that I actually defended him was after Robbie's mother died. Now, I guess when Robbie's mother died, Craig was probably about the age I am now, probably right around 50. And I would say about a year later, he had a new girlfriend. And I think they might have been living together. And my sister said something like, well, don't you think that's a little weird that they're already living together? And I was like, well, I think at that age, you probably think about relationships differently. Because even though like at 50, I don't think about my death so often. I think about it about as often as I did when I was 30. However, the way that I think about it definitely is different because the time that I have left is compressed. And so I think if you're entering into a new relationship with this compressed time, the whole timeline of the relationship is going to be compressed. And that's kind of like was my thinking with Craig was like, to like us 30, 35-year-olds, it might seem a little weird that like his wife dies and less than a year later you're living with another woman. But at the age of 50, it doesn't seem so weird. It doesn't seem so wrong. And because again, that timeline of everything in your life is compressed down. So anyway, that's kind of how I think. And so like I find myself thinking about things like that, like how things are compressed down. Compressed. I don't know. I remember something Trump said a few weeks ago, and I'm not going to make this political, but he was talking about I guess this was last year during the campaign. And he was talking about how they were asking him about his cognitive ability, right? Because it was after like Biden had that horrible debate, and then I think it was like during the Kamala. I think it might have been during the one debate he had with Kamala, and he said something like, he's like, I feel the same I did when I was like 40. Like, and so I don't feel any different. And it's like, I get that. It's like, I feel the same that I did when I was probably 30, like in my 30s. Like in my mind, things don't feel any different than they did when I was like late 20s, early 30s. Like it's kind of like where things kind of stopped. And I mean, obviously I continue to learn things and grow, but I get what he was saying though. It's like you don't feel different. Like it's the same. I don't know, because like the time span, like the difference between 10 and 30 is a world apart. A 10-year-old and a 30-year-old. Think about like your mind when you were 10 and your mind when you were 30. Or Matthew, I know you're probably not even 30 yet, but you know what I'm saying. But like that is a world apart. But between 30 and 50, it's really not. It's very much the same. You might think a little bit more about the things you say, and you're more calculated in the things you say and the things you do. But for the most part, pretty much the same person. Okay, enough philosophical talk. All right, so makes sense to me. Yeah. How old are you, Matthew? Aren't you like 27, 28, something like that? And where the heck is Not Sure? How dare he not be here for a stream? How the nerve of that guy. And actually, I'm going to send the link to Razman. I forgot to send the link to Razman. Huh. So I sent Razman some messages last night when we did the stream, and he didn't read them. Has he been online? I hope he's okay. It doesn't tell me the last time he was online. Huh. I hope he's all right. Oh, Matthew's 31. Okay, so yeah, so you're in your 30s. So you had that big 3-0 birthday a couple years ago. I remember 30. 30 was like, 20 was like, what am I going to do with my life? 30 was like, what have I done with my life? 40 was like, how much of my life do I have left? And 50 was like, not a lot. So I can only imagine what 60's thoughts are going to be. It's all right. I got a little bit of time. I need to like pump the brakes and slow down. I'm only 50. Only 50. I know to a 20-year-old 56. Somebody sent me a really funny meme. It was this person I know who has a thing for older guys. And it was this meme. Wait, where is it? Where is it? Let me see if I can find it. It's a meme. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Let me. This generation, instead of respecting their elders, they're sleeping with them. I just thought that was funny. Oh boy. Oh man. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do. So basically, actually, I wonder if we can just piggyback off of the enemy patrol state. And then, well, let's see what happens. Path pending. Agent remaining distance, active threshold. Set destination. So, okay, so we probably can actually use this. We might have to modify it a little bit. So basically, it's the patrolling of 2 points, right? To the you have the starting point. He's going to patrol. Let's see. Let's get no. Where what? Miro. So let's do a new thing. No, not that. Oh, excuse me. I want it to be solid. I want it to be solid. All right, that's close enough. So, right, so he's going to go here. He's just going to go here, and then he's going to come back, and then he can return to his idle state if he sees nothing. I think the only thing we have to do there, so we would add this is the first patrol point, we would add this is the second patrol point, but instead of repeating the list, we want to have him go to we want him to return to another state which we define. So so this must repeat the list. Okay, enemy patrol points. I do love this song. Current index. Okay, so here is where we're looping. We're looping through. We're using this little mod shortcut to loop through the index. I remember this one time. I was so pissed off. I was offended. So it is the same. It is the same case in C+ and C# as it is in C++ when you're talking about indexes, right? So if I have a list, and then let's say I'm just going to do list of thing. My list equals. Let's make it a little bit bigger so we can read it. My list equals new list thing, right? Why? Why is autocomplete not working? I don't. Maybe it's because no. Anyway, all right. So we have our list, and then if I add, I'm just gonna add. Why is tab not working? No, I don't want tab. Okay, there we go. Is it gonna work? Finally. Okay, so we're just going to do it like this. We're going to do 1, and then we're going to do 2, and then we're going to have one more. We're going to have 3, right? So obviously this is a 0-based index. So you would do, so obviously if you did my list 3, that's bad. That's going to give you an error. So I wanted to get a little bit fancy when I was writing. I probably over-engineered this portion of code, but in C++, and now I don't know if you can overload this. This is the index operator, I guess is one way to put it. But you can override what the brackets do, right? You can, in C++, you can have custom functionality as to what this actually means. And I don't know if you can do that in C Sharp. Can you do that in C Sharp? Let me ask. Can you override the bracket operator in C Sharp? Yes, you can. Okay. By defining an indexer. Oh, okay. So you can do it. That's pretty cool. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. So in C++, I found myself in a situation where, for whatever for reasons I don't really remember right now, it would have been difficult to use this little mod trick. And I wanted to avoid a if this, then I'll do that. Oh, look who shows up now. The nerve to show up almost an hour into the stream. You know, I'm not sure. You know what? I'm banning you. I'm a ban. Anyway, so for whatever reason, I couldn't use this mod trick to basically have the loop of the indexer. And so instead, I overrode the index operator to basically do the same thing. To basically, if it's bigger than the container, then, go back to 0, whatever the logic is. And so I was demonstrating the code, or we were going over the code. There was like me, it was another developer, and it was a fucking program man, a fucking PM. And it was obvious in the code that I was doing something like this, right? Where if you look at that at face value, it's a crash. And that motherfucker said something like, well, I hope you know that looks like an operator out, or like whatever it is, an operator out of bounds or index out of bounds error. And I'm like, you motherfucker. Like, do you think I am like a high school programmer? Like, do you what the fuck do you think I am? Oh, I was so pissed off. And I went and I showed, well, in C++, you see, you can actually override the index operator, you see, you motherfucker. And so go back to your cute little PM job with your cute little spreadsheets and writing your cute little Jira tickets, and let me handle the index operator, okay? Like, stay in your lane, bastard. Oh, I was so angry. So angry. Okay, anyway. So I think what we can do, what I was talking about, right? I think we can piggyback off of this enemy patrol. The only thing is we need some type of switch that says, hey, when you get to the end of the index, go back to this state. Kind of need that. Okay. But then that means we're going to have to... I think we just stick with the enemy investigate. I think that's what we'll do. We'll stick with the enemy investigate state. How it's typically done is walls act as sound filters. Yeah, but that's not how it's typically done. Like, the sound filter, that's for the player. We need this we need this for NPCs, right? Like, the sound filter is going to filter the sound for the player so that the player, it's a filter that the player hears or doesn't hear. I'm going to play some copyright music since this stream is not monetized. I have thought about switching over to my travel channel for these streams, which would be really weird. Like, let's do a programming stream on the travel channel, just because that channel is monetized. And then, I could like guilt you guys into like sending me money. but you never would, so it's okay. We'll just stick to this. Okay, what is this? Who is Olivia Dunn? American. Oh, she's a 22-year-old influencer. Oh, I see why she's an influencer. Oh, okay. She's a hot blonde girl. That makes sense. Okay. Anyway, I wanted to play some music. What is this? Okay. All right. A little distracted there. Sorry. Trying to like play Mr. DJ audio. Mr. DJ over here. Unity by default does not interact with sound with walls. Yeah, audio reverb zones are fun to mess with. Okay. So, what are we doing? Okay. So, if he hears a sound, we're going to immediately change the state to go investigate a point. So the investigate state has to take a point as maybe in the constructor, right? Let's do this. All right. Investigate state. Investigation point. Okay. Investigation point. Did you just do this? Yes. Music is a touch too loud. All right, I'll turn it down. Let me know if that's better. Okay. So we have the investigation point. Okay, so we set the destination, which is a very, very nice function in Unity. Thank you, Unity. That's very, very nice in Unity. But we need the agent. So we can do this. This is enemy NPC. Love this song. The song makes me like wanna. Man, I don't even know. Yeah, this song kind of makes me just want to like blow up my life and like live in Southeast Asia, even though I hate the heat. Okay, so let's see. Okay, read only, vector 3. Got that. Okay. So this would actually be agent set destination. And then this doesn't make any sense. But we probably want to save the original destination, right? So private, read only. I don't understand what the difference between read only and const is. What is the difference between read only and const? I think I looked that up before, but I do not remember it. I'm going to look it up again. In C#, what is the difference between having a const member variable and a read-only member variable? Let's see. In C#, constant read-only member variables are used to define values that are either immutable or have restricted mutability. They differ in several key ways. Okay. Const. A const variable is a compile time constant, meaning its value is fixed at compile time and cannot be changed afterward. Interesting. In C++, they are runtime. They are runtime constants. If you need a compile time constant in C++, you use a constant expression, a const expr. It must be initialized with a value at declaration, and the value must be computable at compile time. It sounds okay. So const is basically a const expr. Read-only variable is a runtime constant, meaning its value can be set at runtime, but only in the declaration or constructor, which is a const in C++. Okay, so consts are const exprs and read-only are const. Okay. Matthew says const throws an error if you try to change the value. I know that from C. No. In C, if you try to, it's a compile time error if you try to change the value of a const in C. I feel so dehydrated. All right. Let me get personal with you guys for a minute. I'm going to get really personal, so forgive me here. Not sure said that. Not sorry, not sure. All right. This is going to get TMI real quick, okay, guys? But so when I was in Africa, I was in Africa for over a month. I was in Africa for like 6 weeks. 7 weeks, 6-7 weeks. I had like no GI problems, like gastrointestinal problems, like none. I was fit as a fiddle. Like I was like everything was operating as normal. I get to Bolivia, and as expected, I have a little bit of trouble, but not too much trouble, right? Like it took my body a couple days to adjust to like whatever. Like something was in the air or something. And then after a couple of days, things kind of went from liquid back to normal. Things were normal, all right? And things remained normal for most of that trip in Bolivia. Since I have been home in the United States, it has not been normal. It has been constant. It has not been normal. I'll just leave it at that. I'll spare you guys the details. And I'm like, what the F is going on? Like, literally. And I'm like, is it the water? Is it the food? Like, I don't know what it is. But, since I'm kind of convinced that it's that for 2 months, I ate preservative-free food, pretty much. Like, in Africa and in Bolivia, it's healthier food, but it sucks because you buy a thing of bread and you have to eat that bread within the next 5 days, because if you don't, it's going to get mold. Whereas in the United States, it's going to take you a couple of weeks to get the mold because we put tons of preservatives in our food. But this is a constant pattern that when I travel out of the country, I generally do not change the amount of food I eat, but I lose weight. And I believe it is because of the food quality in other countries. So Not Sure says, gotta eat probiotics. You might have Giardia. Eat some horse dewormer. No, I'm good. I do wonder if it's the water. I have not changed the filter because my fridge, it has one of those like dispenser things. And the filter light has been on for probably about a year. And I have not changed the filter. It could be that. Maybe it's that. Maybe I should change the filter. Do you think I should change the filter in my fridge? The water's so good. Matthew says, yes, I've heard the U.S. food is filled with preservatives. UK is mostly... No, it's true. It is true. No matter where I travel, I will lose weight, and I will generally not change the amount of food, or even what I eat doesn't really change. It's just the actual food changes, and I will lose weight. I come back to the U.S., I immediately gain it back, and then I have these issues. Matthew says, I had a meat-only diet for a few months ago. All my GI issues went away. Meat-only diet sounds amazing. Addie has been eating McDonald's 3 times a day. Oh, God, I wish. No, so I will say, my first full day back in the States, I had to go somewhere in the morning, and it was really early, and I didn't have time to make breakfast, and I hadn't gone grocery shopping, so I didn't have any food. I didn't have any food in the house, so I went to McDonald's for breakfast. I was like, you know what? I haven't been home. I haven't been in the U.S. for 2 months. There is McDonald's in South Africa, but I didn't really go. I think I went one time. But I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to have a good old-fashioned McDonald's breakfast. Had my McDonald's breakfast, loved it. Then I had to go somewhere for lunch, and I was like, fuck it. I deserve it. I'm going to have McDonald's for lunch. So yes, that day I had McDonald's for breakfast and lunch. And then that evening, I had Taco Bamba for dinner. Oh my God. That night, I woke up at 3 in the morning, and it was like a hose just spraying. Oh my God, it was terrible. It was terrible. It hasn't been like that since, but it has not been normal. It has not been normal. Okay, so what we need to do, so I guess this set destination, like that's pretty self-explanatory. We need to save the original point. This will do good for now. If he gets here, I mean, like if he's in the area, we'll just have him return. All right, so this, let's test this. All this is going to do is we're going to shoot the gun. The guy's going to come to us and then walk right back. He's not going to react when he sees us. He's just going to walk to us and come right back. Most countries are made to be walking cities. I've been walking a lot too, actually. So I lost weight, and I've been trying to keep it off and actually lose a little bit more. And then I also cut my hair. First time I've cut my hair in 5 years, and I don't know why I didn't do it sooner, because I feel so much better, and I actually think I look better. Like, I actually feel like more confident, like, oh yeah, no, I am a good looking guy. Like, I actually feel like I look better. Let me see. How many steps did I do today? I'm just shy of 10,000 steps. So I'll get those 10,000 after this stream when I take this little jerk out on a walk. All right, let's see. Let's see what happens. But guys, I gotta. Oh man, there's something I want to talk about, but I can't talk about it. I really want to talk about it because I'm like dying to talk about it with anybody, but can't you do this in C#? You can't do this in C#? You can't declare multiple things in the constructor? Ugh. That's disappointing. Oh, wait. Investigation point. I need to do original position. Yeah, there it is. No, I know what Matthew's over there eating his beans and toast. That's what he's, but you know what? I do like beans, and I do like toast. So I'm like, Lisa is in now. Hey, sorry I was late. I was making ratatouille. With my kid. Aw, what a good mom Lisa is. Okay, what's the error here? I should really ask Lisa about like the thing I'm struggling with. Like, I remember Lisa like a long time ago when I was like going through like some personal stuff, and like I would call Lisa on my drive home from work, and I would like vent to her, and then she would be like half listening while like changing a diaper, and then being like, yeah, Addie, you're an idiot. And like that was kind of like, oh yeah, no, I needed to hear that. All right, let me see. Update. Oh, the state. This is the state update. This is okay, here it is, right here, like this. Okay. Is that going to get rid of my compiler errors? Does not implement exit. Okay, we'll implement Okay, so there's no base class function to call. All right. Object type is not... Oh. I probably just need to return null. Actually, we can get rid of this for now. We'll just comment it out. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay. All right. All right. We compiled. Let's see what happens now. Okay. Is he going to come over and invest? Oh, wait a minute. He heard it. Oh. Oh, God, I'm an idiot. Okay. How do I do this? I need to... something like this. Oh, this is tricky. Actually, I guess it's not that tricky. I guess what we can do... State. Okay. Because the reason it's tricky is because handle state is not called inside of update, but I need to change the state inside of update. So we can kind of just... we can just kind of declare a variable that when it's set, we just change state to it, right? Private, what is it? NPC, no, we don't want the whole NPC return value. We just want the state. Where is that defined? Where is it defined? Okay, is it defined here? Let me see. Okay. Right. So NPC state. Okay. Just calm down and let me do this. Just calm down and let me do this. Okay, so we would have NPC state. Is that what I said? We're just going to call it next state. Next state equals null. And then we'll just do this. AI should surely figure this out. Yes. If X state... Okay, perfect. If next state not equals null, thank you, AI. And then down here, we can do... Perfect. Okay. Next state return. Okay, that looks good. Okay, let's see what this does. Alrighty. Oh man, wow. I don't look at the chat room for a minute. Lisa is in the house, which I already said. She's telling me that I pronounced Ratatouille wrong. I don't know how to pronounce Ratatouille. Isn't that a movie with like a chef and a rat in his hat or something like that? Matthew says, not sure. It's so expensive. It's so expensive not to. A single steak can be like 10 or 7 pounds. I can get multiple meals out of that. 7 pounds is like what? Well, at one point, it was like $14, but now I think it's probably only like $10. Matthew saying hi to Lisa. Lisa saying hi to Matthew. And Sanji Gaming is in the house saying hello. Hello there, Sanji Gaming. Hello. Hope you are doing well. All right, a compiler error must be fixed. Cannot convert base NPC to enemy NPC. Okay. No, it's the dish he makes. Oh, but isn't it a movie? Isn't Ratatouille the name of the movie or something? Or Ratatini or I thought that was the name of the movie. Ratatouille. Yeah, it's the... Oh, maybe not. A rat who can cook make... Yeah, it's the name of the movie. Man, now I want pasta. I'm going to pig out on Friday. So like I said, I've been, when I left the States, I lost not a lot of weight, but I lost like a good 10 pounds. And then, so since I've been back in the States, I've been trying to like keep it off, and I've actually been trying to lose more. So as a result, what happens when you're losing weight is you get hungry. And so I've been hungry. And so I'm looking forward to Friday because I am going to eat the F out of some food on Friday. Friday is my one day to just go hog wild with eating whatever I want to eat. Okay, let's see if this guy comes over here. Here he comes. Now, he's not scanning, so he's not going to really notice me. He's just going to come. He's going to look. He's going to be like, oh, interesting. Oh, he didn't go back. Why didn't he go back? Why didn't he go back? Was he not close enough? Or was he... It's investigation point. Let's set a breakpoint in there and see what happens. What game is this? Yeah, you can send him a link if you want. Not sure. Send him a link to the GitHub, or I can post the. I should post. Actually, look in the description. If you look in the description of this stream, the link to the a link to the repo is in the game. And actually, guys, you're gonna kill me. I've actually thought about changing the name once again. I'm thinking I might change the name of the game once again. Well, I think I might change it again. I'm really tempted to change it. I really want to change it again. Anyway, the breakpoint never hits. That's interesting. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, what's going on here? Is this compiled? Is the update method never being called? No, I might change the name again. I think I'm going to change it once more. And then if I change it again, it's going to be it. It's going to be the last time. It's going to be the last time. It's going to be the last time, I promise. And it's not going to change it again. All right. I want to know what's going on. I want to know why. Okay, let's see. Whoops. I think I paused the music. Okay, there he goes. And then he goes back to his position. And I don't think he's going to be patrolling again. No, he's not. We have to have some kind of state in there to take him back to his... Oh, this actually gets really tricky. Because now we need to pass another variable in here, which is the original idle state, right? Okay, one thing at a time. All right, I would say right now for development purposes, it is good enough. Let's get him scanning and attacking. So we should be able to do that pretty easily too, because in this patrol state here, we already have like the scanning functionality. So we can just kind of copy it. So we have this entity scanner. And we can add that here. Easy. I feel like the entity scan. Do read-only variables in C# give you a performance boost? Like in C++, the whole point of using consts, and especially const expert, but the whole point of using const objects or const variables in C++ is that if the compiler knows that it's never going to modify that value, the compiler can then therefore make certain assumptions, and those assumptions can lead to better performance, because it'd be like, oh, well, I know this value is never going to change, so I can reduce this chunk of code to this smaller chunk of code because it's never going to change, so I don't have to support it ever changing. So it can basically optimize the code better. Is that the same case in C++? I mean, in C#? I would imagine so, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. Maybe Matthew or somebody can tell me. Or maybe even Sanji Gaming can tell me. Maybe Sanji Gaming is really Anders Hillsberg, the creator of C#. Who knows? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. Okay. Enemy detection distance. So a lot of this already comes like the enemy offset, target mask, and obstacle mask. Those are the only things which I feel like the fact that I'm copying this code around makes me a little bit nervous, but you know what? Whatever. It's all right. Matthew says, yeah, const is optimized in C# too. Okay, good to know. Okay, so the entity scanner is there. I think we need this. This is the entity scanner stuff. Okay. I love this song. This is another song I really love. Okay. I think this is good. Now I believe he should start attacking. Though I do wonder what happens when he's done attacking. It's the pursue state, so he's going to chase. What happens let's see, enemy pursue state. He attacks. If he gets too far away, pop state. Target is out of range. Go back to idle state, which we pushed earlier. Which means... Oh, push state this. Oh, but we don't want to push this. We want to push... All right, one thing at a time. One thing at a time, Addy. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. But guys, aren't you proud of me? We're actually getting some programming done. Like, I mean, can you believe it? We're actually making a little bit of progress. Like, can you believe it? I know I'm excited. Are you excited? Because I'm excited. All right, let's see. Is Lisa still here? Sanji Gaming is my son. Oh, I need to be very careful what I say then. Oh, okay. Let me see. Okay, so is he going to? Okay, so he's going to come. Oh, he sees green guy. That makes sense. He came over. He was scanning. He saw green guy. Okay, because remember, green guy is his enemy. Okay, I'm going to get green guy out of there and make sure green guy is not in harm's way, and I'm going to make sure he comes and sees me. Okay, green guy, I want you. You're going to go over here. We're going to call this point 1111. We're going to go over there, and green guy, I want you to go over there, okay? Go to 1111. All right, good boy. Go. Good boy. Okay, now, Come fight me like a man. Okay, so he is shooting me. And then let's see if I run far away. Okay, so he just kind of stays there, right? But what state is he in? Let's sneak up around him, because if I go in front of him, he's going to see me. So I need to sneak up behind him. He is in... He's still in the pursue state, which is weird. Okay. So there's two conditions we need to handle. One, if he starts to investigate and finds nothing, then he needs to go back to where he was and start patrolling or whatever he was doing again. So that's one. So if he finds nothing. Second is if he's attacking and then I run away and he stops attacking, then he needs to go back to what he was doing. So both those cases are going to be handled very similarly. They're going to have the same end result. He's going to go back to doing what he was doing. But... yeah, Lisa, I need to talk to you. You know, I think Lisa would be a good person to talk to. Okay. Oh, stop it! Oh, Jesus Christ! Okay, now I've gotten into a mess. Oh my God. Okay, die. Leave my green guy alone. I will say it's kind of cool that the game is kind of playable. It's a little playable. I also like this. Watch when he disappears, his eyeball stays for a second. Talk to me about what, my friend? Some troubles. Like, Lisa, you know me well enough to know what about it is. What it is about. What about it is. All right. So let's check this in. I'm still not crazy about how we handle the sound event, but it's good. Sanjay Gaming says green guy looks like an android guy. Yeah. He looks. They remind me of the the game One of Us. Not One of Us is lying. Where'd that come from? I think it's called One of Us. No. Okay, maybe it's not called One of Us. What is the game called where it's multiplayer, and then Among Us. Thank you, not sure. Among Us. Yes. Yeah, green guy reminds me. That's what they remind me of. But eventually, we will have actual models, hopefully. Okay. Why am I compiling again? Stop. Okay, just stop. No. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Well, you got one of those things right. Okay, let's handle the he found nothing case. So how does the whole push a state work? I forget how I implemented that, but apparently you can push states. Let me see. Was it patrol state? PC1 push state. I need to remember how this works. I honestly don't remember how it works. Even though I wrote it, I don't remember how it works. Is it pursue? Okay. So when you want to change state to a state which you pushed, you simply return pop state, and then it will pop the state that you pushed. Okay, so that makes sense. So we go from the idle state, we push that onto the stack. The issue here is we got to be careful because we don't necessarily know that we're always going to enter the investigate state from the idle state. So now the thing we risk is if we start pushing multiple states onto this stack, we have to be very cognizant of, well, if I'm in the enemy investigate state, am I certain that I have 2 states on the stack? What if I only have 1? Because I might have gotten to the investigate state from 2 different paths. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that is the case, but it could be the case. So we got to keep that in mind. That's where like pushing and popping becomes tricky. Regular stack mechanics, but it is what it is. So how do we want to do this? So we go to idle state. When we hear a gunshot, I think what we want to do is when we're in update, we want to push this state. Right, push. So we've gone to investigate. Next state, investigate. We want him to return. But we need to track when he returns. We need to track what he's returning to. Yeah, okay, this is a pain in the butt. It's actually, I'm making it more of a pain in the butt than it actually is. It's just 2 positions. All right. I got this. Would you just calm down for a minute? Okay, I got this. Just trust me. Just trust me. I know what I'm doing. I've done this before. Okay, I got this. Apparently I don't. Okay, wait. Let's see what we got here. What do we have here? What is this? State machine, state stack. What type of variable is state stack? What the heck is state stack? Okay, so it is a stack. Excellent. Okay, perfect. This way we can, in theory, we can have multiple points to investigate what I'm about to do. Because I am a genius. Okay? Just remember that. I am a genius. Stack. Vector 3 patrol points. Thank you, AI. Okay, so what we can do is we can have patrol points. Why are you reallocating it? We've already allocated it. Points, push, investigation point, patrol points. No, I want you to push the original. Oh, okay, yeah, you're okay, AI. Okay, you win this round, AI. All right. In the constructor. So when we enter, can we just pop? How does that work with no. Pop. Okay, so at that point patrol. So this is dangerous. Bonus points to anybody that knows why this is dangerous. Bonus points. Here, I'm going to make it bigger. Whoa. I'm going to make it bigger. That's what she said. No, bonus points. Anybody that knows why this is dangerous. I know Matthew knows. Matthew, I figured out the way the NPCs listen. Basically, the NPCs would emit an inaudible sound that is a time division multiplexed when the gunshot occurs. The player then knows which NPCs are in range. Little complex, but yeah, the player does the threshold detection and knows which NPC is based on their slot. But it's not just the NPCs that are listening. That's the thing. You got to remember that. It's not just the NPCs are listening. That's why it's a little complex, because when you think about that kind of logic, you'd have to implement that logic for every listening thing. and then every NPC is a listening thing. And now, like, it just gets the complexity of that logic grows really quickly. Lisa says, I want points, but I don't know. Okay, Lisa, you get the points. The reason that this little line of code is dangerous is because what happens if patrol points is empty? What happens if that's empty? And then I call pop. Honestly, in C#, I don't know. I would imagine in C# it just throws an exception. In C++, oh, you get a crash, my friend. You get a crash. C++, C# is very forgiving. C#, I'm trying to think of a good analogy. C# is like your mom, right? Like your mom loves you, and if you do something wrong, you'll be forgiven. Your mom will forgive you, and she'll still love you. That's how C# is. C++ is like a woman you're dating. There is no forgiveness. If you do something wrong, you're going to pay. And you're going to pay with a crash. You're going to die. Like it's just, you don't make mistakes in C++. Like you can't make those mistakes because you will regret it. So that's the difference. C# is like your mom, and C++ is like a girlfriend, essentially. Okay. They're two different types of love. Control state. Agent remaining distance. Okay. All right, so this is how we know if we're not there yet. So let's see what we got here. Okay, so I think the AI is pretty spot on here. So the AI is basically saying, if you are close enough, if you've gotten to the point where you're going, then we enter into this loop. Then we enter into this conditional. If there are no patrol points left, if there are any patrol points left, pop the next one and go there. Else, return to your original state. So that, or I'm sorry, pop the state that you have. I don't think I need this null. Okay, so this should handle the guy went to investigate and found nothing case, in which case he should go back to where he was and start looking around again. Let's test that. All right, we got some compiler errors. The type of namespace stack does not exist. All right, so I simply what is stack inside of? Okay, collections generic. I guess that makes sense. Okay. I remember this one time. This was a long time ago. So there are a couple of markers in my life, right? Like, and this is true for everybody. Like, there are certain like key events in your life that kind of separate your life into before thing, after thing, right? Like for me, like the first one is when my daughter was born, when I was 18 years old. Like, that's ridiculous, but that's like one life-defining moment. Another life-defining moment is when I was diagnosed with cancer at the age of 33. That's a very life-defining moment. And then another one is when I got married at the age of 45. So this was long, long ago. This was before my daughter. This was in the BC times, Addie BC, because my daughter's name is Cassie, so it's literally BC, before Cassie, Addie BC, long time ago. And back when you used to buy software, like if you wanted a program, you couldn't just go online and download it. No, there was no online. You actually had to go to the store and buy a physical box with physical discs and then install them that way. So there was this mall near where I went to school, and we would go to the mall like kids do. Do kids still do that, or they just like sit on their phones all everywhere? But back then, you would go to the mall after school, and so we would go to the mall, and there was a software store in it, and there was this guy. He must have been, like, looking back on it, he was probably in his like mid to late 20s, and I was like 16, 17, and I don't know how, but I went in there every day for like a week. And like at that point in my life, like I was like kind of into computer programming. I knew a little bit, like I was 16, right? I was a kid. I taught myself, like I knew enough to talk about it and sound like I was a 16-year-old kid that knew something about computer programming. And so I talked to this guy, and for like a week, he had a box that was Turbo C++. Or, well, the software, the store did. I didn't. The store did. And this was like, it was like $50. And this is $50 in 1992 money. How much is that? Let's look that up really quick. $50. Let's see. Inflation calculator. Oh, I need to know this before I even continue with the story now. $50 in 1992 money. Today, that is $116. So for a 16-year-old kid, that's like all the money in the world, right? Like, well, back then it was. I don't know. Like, I feel like, 16-year-old kids these days are doing like drop shipping. They're making millions of dollars and driving Lamborghinis or streaming on TikTok or whatever it is. But back then, that was a lot of money. But somehow, I talked this guy into letting me walk out with the box of with Turbo C++. Like I was like, come on, just let me take it. Just let me take it. And because he knew it, and he's like, all right, well, when you're a millionaire, he said something to the extent of like, well, when you write something that makes you a millionaire, you don't forget me. And I was like, nope, I'm coming back for you. You're going with me. And he literally just handed me the box and let me walk out with it without paying. I talked this guy into giving me a copy of Turbo C++. I wonder what he's doing today. He's probably in his 60s and regretting ever giving. I wonder if surely he remembers that. Surely he remembers that. Anyway, all right. What were we doing? Okay, so he should return to his original state, right? If he finds nothing. Imagine how much we could get done if I stayed focused and didn't talk. This is going to be the last thing we do tonight. All right, green guy, I need you to go back over here. So go over here. All right, so go over there. Go to perfect. Easy. Easy. All right, now we're going to go over here, and then I'm going to... Okay, he sees nothing. All right, I'm getting a bunch of errors down below. Oh, it's telling me the stack is empty. Look at this. Throw for empty stack. So what's going on here? I'm pushing the state. Oh, wait. Patrol points, push, patrol points, push. Agent set, I set the new destination. Well, let's make sure I did. I don't know why Not Sure is talking about the fast Fourier transform. I took differential equations, and I am still not familiar with Fourier. I mean, I remember learning about Fourier transforms, but I had a really different, I have a degree in mathematics, but for whatever reason, I had a really difficult time with differential equations. That course was difficult, and I blame the professor, because I didn't struggle with any other math courses, just with differential equations. And and the professor, she had just had a baby, and so she was really distracted. And so anyway, I blame the teacher that like I don't know a lot about differential equations. Like I remember the basic concepts of what they are. It's like, you know, it's going in the opposite direction. You take a function, you go to the derivative. For the differential, it's just going backwards, right? It's just you have the derivative, now find the original function. But yeah, like good luck. I mean, like I don't know how, honestly, I don't know how I passed that class. Like, I honestly don't know how I passed that class. I did, but I don't know. I think I might not have gotten a really good grade on it, but I don't care. I passed it. One of my favorite classes was number theory. Number theory was so cool. I could Fourier series learned in calculus. Yeah, I believe you do learn a Fourier series in calculus, but when you start talking about like Fourier, maybe I'm thinking of the Laplace transforms. There's like Laplace transforms, a Fourier transform. I feel like there's even a Euler transform. Like there's all types of different transforms, but you do some of that in differential equations too. Wait, what's going on? That's interesting. That was a little interesting experience. I don't know what was happening there. Okay, go over there. I need you to go over there, okay? Be a good boy. Good boy. Good boy, green boy. Good boy. Okay, first of all, I just noticed something. I noticed a problem. I think I see the issue. I am pushing in the wrong order, I think. Right? I need to push this first. I need to push. Yeah, I think that's the issue. I was pushing in the wrong order. The investigation point needs to be pushed last because this is a last in, first out. I think. NPCs emitting sounds like that sounds expensive, Not Sure. Yes, everything Not Sure is saying sounds very expensive. We never do Fourier here. I think at least it's come up for me so far. You have zoomed in on top little slider saying 1.3 times. Oh, thank you. What would I do without Matthew? Without these dirty British men. All right, let me see. Come over here. Easy. Okay, we're going to come over here. I'm going to trick him. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, they both noticed. Shit! Oh, shit! God damn it! All right. Let me stick to the original plan. They both started. They both were like, "Get the heck out of here!" All right. I do not know if I'm going to be here tomorrow night. My buddy David is supposedly coming over, and we're having a guys' night, like hanging out. I don't know what we're going to do, but he's like, we need to hang out and have a guys' night. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean exactly? No, we're just going to come over just to like, and I'm like, all right, so he's coming over. I don't know what we're going to do. Are we using colliders now? No, we're not using colliders yet. We're not using colliders. Okay, go over there. Okay, so he's going to go back, and is he going to start idling again? Oh, okay, look, his state is all messed up. What's going on with his state? It's going back and forth between idle. I think it's going back and forth between idle and investigate. Oh, okay. I think I get it. It's because this is still okay. What we need to do is we need to let's try this. Ugh. This is ugly. This is really ugly. I would not recommend this, but this is ugly. Do not do this. Do as I say, not as I do. This is ugly. Do not do this. We'll find a better way to do this tomorrow night or Friday night, but that's ugly. That's really ugly. But it should work. It should at least prove a point. All right, we talked about this green guy. Go over here. Okay. All right, he's a good boy. Oh, he's a good boy. Just go on. Oh, he's a good boy. He's a good boy. Okay. I don't want him to see me. Okay. Okay. Ah, he's still doing it though. No, he's not. He's idle. But he's not facing the direction he should be facing. That's part of the issue, and now they're both attacking me. That's fine. All right, I think that's a good stopping point. I mean, I think we made some good progress. There's issues, obviously. Like, he's not facing the direction he needs to be facing when he gets back to the idle, so we need to have some type of default orientation or default facing direction, which I think we do already. We might just need to set it. I was thinking one thing we might need to do is, you see how we have this enter? When we're popping and pushing states, we're changing states. We may want to have, when we pop a state, we may want to call enter and exit when we push, like when we leave. I don't think we are, but I don't know if we should. I don't know if that should be a proper enter or if it should be like another enter, right? Like we might want to have it enter where, like we might want to have it such that enter is only called once, like ever, and then we have another like soft enter or whatever you want to call it. Soft enter. We've all been there. No, but we would have like a soft enter, whatever we call it, which would get called when we're changing state with pop and push. But maybe it makes sense to just call enter when we pop and push. That would allow us to kind of fix this issue here, because then we could just have like null state or next state equals null and enter, or null state or next state equals null and exit, right? We would have a soft exit too. Soft exit. I cracked myself up. Anyway, I think we made some good progress tonight. Regardless of what you think of me, I think we made some good progress tonight. And with that, thanks for joining. I appreciate you guys. It's been a good stream. It's been fun. Like I said, I may be back tomorrow. I don't like my friend David. 95% of our relationship is based on phone calls. Like that's just how we are. Like, first of all, I find it weird that he's a millennial that calls, because millennials don't call. Like, who call? Like, no, like, but he does. He calls all the time. Like, I speak to him every day, and but he wants to he's like, no, Thursday night, hang out. And then tomorrow night is another reason I probably won't be streaming tomorrow night is because even if he doesn't stay that late, tomorrow night is the NFL season opener. Who's playing tomorrow? There's a game Friday night too. Who's playing tomorrow night? Let's see. NFL schedule. Cowboys and Eagles, which might be worth watching, right? Like that sounds like that could be a good game. Like, I hate the Cowboys, I hate the Eagles, so that might be a good game worth watching. Then Friday we have the Chiefs and Chargers. And then of course Sunday, my team, my Commanders are playing. Matthew, I hope you are super pumped about the NFL season starting with American football. I hope you're ready, Matthew. I hope you're ready. Pick your team now. Pick. You know what, Matthew? I'm going to recommend the Commanders to you. That they're a very British team. Actually, they're playing. No, let's see. NFL London Games 2025. All right, so that's the Vikings and the Browns, and then the Broncos and the Jets. So the Commanders, I think they're playing in Spain. Are they playing in Spain? I just got to look for a 9 o'clock game or something. 9:30 a.m. They're playing the Dolphins. Estadio Santiago Bernabéu. Bernabéu. I imagine that's in Madrid. Yeah, it's in Madrid. So anyway, all right, boys. Thanks for joining. I will post a link if if I do a stream tomorrow night, I'll post it on here. If not, I'll see you on Friday. Even if there is an NFL game, I'll probably do a stream on Friday. If I don't do one tomorrow, have a great night, and I'll see you then. All right, bye, boys. I said bye. Get out of here. Go. Goodbye.